Welcome to Accepted, Secrets of New York City School Admissions with Alina Adams, author of the ebook, Getting into New York City Kindergarten. I'm Victoria Chapman, helping to guide this conversation. Hi, Alina.
Hello, we're back. Now we're talking about private school.
Ooh, private school. 2 points. 1, if you've been waitlisted and how to get it in. And 2, I understand there's some new options.
There's some new options, so both people who have applied to private school and have been waitlisted, as well as parents who might have only been looking at public school but are really unhappy with where they've been placed so far, there are options in private school for both those demographics.
Okay, let's talk about waitlisting first. Now, I understand those waitlists will start to move soon?
They'll start to move in the sense that here's what's going to happen. As we discussed last week, once gifted and talented placement results come out, there will inevitably be parents who will give up spots at private schools, at general ed schools, at charter schools. So it's sort of a seismographic shift. Once gifted and talented placements come out, then there will be movement in general ed and private schools, which will lead to movement in other schools. It basically all goes round and round, and it can all go through to the end of August. I've known parents that have gotten off a private school waitlist in August simply because somebody's financial situation may have changed or people are moving. And in addition to that, with the public schools, public school rolls actually don't close until the end of October. So you could have started a school in September and get a phone call a couple of weeks in to be told, hey, a spot just opened up. Do you want that spot? So as I told someone the other day, the bad news is New York City Kindergarten 2016 admissions isn't over. The good news is New York City Kindergarten admissions 2016 isn't over. This is all still going to go on for months.
Okay. So if it's not too late,
here's what we can do.
Yeah, you know what? Sometimes it's so overwhelming.
Here's the problem. Vicky is new to this whole New York City thing. She's not new to producing. She's not new to doing interviews. She is very new to New York City school admissions, and she finds it shocking and overwhelming, just like any normal, sane human being would.
It's flummoxing.
Flummoxing. So sometimes she is so flummoxed, she cannot even get the question out. But I know what she means. So this is what we're going to talk about now. Basically, parents who both have applied to private school and did not get into the private school they want, or parents who applied to public school and did not get into the public school they want, still have options for September 2016. Look, the fact is the top private schools are not going to have rooms for a brand new family. You know, Dalton, Horace Mann, Trinity, St. Anne's are not going to have open spaces. But we are very lucky in New York is that a whole bunch of new schools are actually opening up.
That's what I was about to ask.
So it depends on what kind of things you're looking for, but there's all kinds of options. For instance, a school called Basis Brooklyn is going to be opening a Manhattan campus. That's actually in 2017, but the school in Brooklyn, it's in Red Hook, as my son calls it, it's the school at IKEA. That school still has that school has spaces for 2016. Alt School, which is a school that was just profiled a few weeks ago in New York, in the New Yorker, and it's backed by Mark Zuckerberg of Facebook. It's a very tech-oriented school. They are opening a Manhattan campus. There is a school called the Portfolio School, which also promises sort of an individualized STEM curriculum. That school is opening up. Plus, we previously interviewed the director of admissions at the Ideal School, which is a very interesting model in that they have half the class is children with Down syndrome and half the class is typically developing children. And they still have room for 2016. And what I can tell you about the school is because in order for their model to work, they need typically developing children. They have been very generous with financial aid. Families that didn't receive financial aid other places have received financial aid at the Ideal School, and they still have room. So there are still quite a few options available for parents.
Okay, so I guess what are some of the reasons that a parent should consider when choosing a brand new private school? And like you just mentioned with the financial aid, will they be able to afford it?
That's a big one.
When we come back, Alina talks with Elizabeth Katz, Director of Admissions at the recently opened New York International School, and she'll help us break it down. Thank you. We'll be right back. Hi there, and welcome back to Accepted, Secrets of New York City School Admissions with Alina Adams. Now, it's officially spring, less than 6 months out from September. And you may be still wondering, can you get into private school for September 2016? The answer is yes, if the school has rolling admissions. But then what about the cost, financial aid? Is that all gone at this stage in the game? Well, Director of Admissions for the New York International School, Elizabeth Katz, talked with Alina and takes you through the process step by step and explains why you should consider taking a chance on a new school.
Hi, Elizabeth. Welcome to Accepted, Secrets of New York City School Admissions.
Thank you.
So we have been talking about what to do if you are waitlisted at a private school and don't have a school for September coming up. Now, I've talked about the fact that there's some new schools there, and also that there are schools that have rolling admissions, which the New York International School does. Can you tell us what rolling admissions are?
Sure. Rolling admissions means that a family can apply at any time throughout the year, and it means that we have a fast response policy, and that's really to alleviate families from the stress of New York City school admissions, deadlines, and notification dates.
What does a fast reply mean?
We hope to let families know within 2 weeks of their application.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I don't think I've ever heard any school say that. That's amazing.
That's our goal.
Now, let me ask you this. For a family that's interested in financial aid, how does that work with rolling admissions? Usually a school that notifies everybody at the same time knows the students and knows what their financial aid situation is. How does financial aid work with rolling admissions?
That's a great question. What we ask families to do is if they plan to apply for financial aid, at the same time that they make their application for admissions, we ask that they also go online to FAST, which is the who we use at this point, and make their financial aid application within 3 weeks of applying to the New York International School. And they would also check on their application that they would be applying for financial aid.
So is there an advantage to it being sort of first come, first served? Are you going to run out of money at some point?
I can't say that we'll run out of money at some point, but of course there's always an advantage. You're given priority if you apply sooner than other families.
So what are the advantages to applying to a school that's brand new and just getting established in New York?
Well, we feel that the excitement and energy that comes from being new is definitely permeated throughout. There's absolutely no complacency or just a business as usual feeling. There's a strong sense of partnership with parents. We're all building something together, and parents know that they have the opportunity to influence a new school culture. New schools, we feel, have to work a bit harder than the established ones. We're proving right now how strong we are, whereas others have a track record that maybe can speak for the school. And in a new school, there's no chance that any outdated, irrelevant traditions exist.
So are you still taking applications for September 2016?
We are.
And if a family moves to New York City mid-year, is your school a school that they can apply to in the middle of the year?
Well, we don't like to say no, but I would recommend. It really depends on the class size, and sometimes we do have families that move out in the middle of the year, just like families are relocated. So I would suggest that any family that's planning to relocate mid-year, just give us a call first. I mean, usually we can accept those applications, but I just want to make sure that we give the family the exact information for the grade to which they're applying.
So where can prospective parents learn more about you and the New York International School?
Well, they can come to an open house. We generally have those on Wednesdays at 8:30 a.m. You can find out from our website the exact days and times of our open houses. And we do tell parents to check out our website at nyis.org. And there's a drop-down for the application, which is online, and also more information about financial aid and admissions there.
Perfect. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you being with us today.
Thank you.
That was great. And of course, I like the way you phrased this. Remember, no school is a life sentence.
Absolutely not. You know, I hear so many times from parents, I like the lower school, but I don't like the upper grades. And the fact is, you are not obliged to stay at any school, whether it's a K through 5 or a K through 8 or a K to 12. What you're really looking for right now is the school that's a good fit for your child in kindergarten, first, maybe second grade. You don't know what kind of a learner they are yet. You don't even know what kind of a person they are yet. They're 4 years old. What do you know? You don't know anything. So basically, the thing to remember is when you're choosing a school, you don't think about it as being for the next 14 years. Think about it only for the next few years.
Okay, and so next week, I understand we're going to talk with a parent who transferred her child from a private school to a public school, and more than once?
Yep.
Okay. Until then, tell us, what's the update with your book?
The book, Getting into New York City Kindergarten, has been updated for 2017. I'm going to be doing workshops throughout the month. Go to www.alinaadams.com and you'll be able to register there for different dates and different times. And the book is available on both Amazon and Barnes & Noble. At the end of the book, you can sign up for a mailing list where you will get updates about all the latest developments in New York City schools.
Okay, sounds good. And until then, next week, we're going to talk about transferring your child from private to public and how to navigate that. Have a good week.